We'll take a comfortable seat, start to prepare for our practice. Roll the shoulders up and away from the ears. And just letting the nose drop down toward the floor. Starting to release with the exhale. Releasing any thoughts in the mind. Releasing any excess energies in the body. Things we don't need right now. Starting to lengthen out that exhale. It's going to add a little more to it. Starting to squeeze out the exhale at the end, drawing the belly in, allowing the inhale to come easily and naturally. Working with some visualization, you can imagine a wave of warm water or air starting at the crown of the head and starting to flow over the body, front side, back side, two sides, same time. From the top of the head down the whole length of the body, down into where you're sitting and dissolving into the earth. Just feeling that continuous flow here from the crown of the head. Nice and warm, comfortable. From the top of the head, down the length of the body, and into the earth. Your exhale, really sensing that movement, that flow. I'm starting to get a sense of the connection with earth below, the solidity of earth. And then from this grounded place, connected with the earth beneath, start to build a fire energy in the belly. So you can envision a sphere of light and fire and heat. Starting to roll and spin, kind of like a star. Your center of the belly. Once it starts to move and grow, starts to build heat in the body. Allow that heat to expand from the belly center throughout the rest of the body. Encouraging the heat to move to the parts of the body that might feel a little colder, like the hands and the feet. So you can use your inhale here to fan the flames. Drawing in the breath down into the belly, fueling the fire. Take a few more breaths here, moving into balance between the three energies, earth, fire, and air. And coming back to an awareness of the natural breath, the uncontrolled natural breathing. On your next inhale, slowly open the eyes and come back into your space. All right, let's keep the shoulders back and down. We'll drop the nose down and then circle with the tip of the nose, the biggest circle that you can make. So as you're looking over one shoulder, you might try to look behind you so we can really expand the rotation there. Rotating around the neck. And we'll pause in that direction and then rotate the other way. And the next time that the nose is in the starting place, we'll pause there. And then you can lift the head. All right, I'm going to take the knuckles here, your first fingers. You're going to take the knuckles right into the place where the eye sockets are meeting the top of your nose. So it's right underneath of your eyebrow, right in that corner little space. And using your thumbs, you're going to have the thumbs on the chin here. You're going to kind of drop the head down and allow the weight of the head to push into your knuckles. So you're going to feel some pressure right in that little spot where the nose and the eye sockets meet. It should not hurt, so it should be away from the eyeball. Getting a little bit of weight here from the head. A couple of breaths here. And then we'll lift the head. Keep your knuckles attached here. We're going to start to draw across the top of the eye, under the eyebrow, out to the edges of the face. We'll do that again. So it's taking the knuckles right in that spot again. And underneath the eyebrow, you can lift up a little and draw out to the sides. And then we take the knuckles above the eyebrow, right together at the center of the head. And then same thing, draw out to the sides, so pushing in, a little massage here, down towards your ears. Do that again, so right center of the head above the eyebrows, drawing along down toward the ears here, ending here. And then we're going to take your first finger and your middle finger, one on either side of your ears. So just one on either side, front and back, and then make circles here. So massaging the front and the back of your ears. Just going to circle. And then we're going to grab a hold of the ears and start to pull them, making little circles here too. So kind of massaging, moving around the cartilage of the ears. And then we'll slip the fingers like just behind the ears where the skull meets the neck, and just do a little massage there. Just let the head kind of move around. We feel right where the skull is meeting the neck. Release any tension that you might have left there. All right. From there, we're going to release the hands down to the shoulders. And let's circle here. So making circles with the elbows. And then we're going to pause that direction. We'll circle the other way. This big circle. So when your elbows come back, you can feel the shoulder blades squeeze together. And then we'll release the hands down to the legs or the hips, and let's circle here. So trying to get the sensation or the feeling of the joints around the hips. Just trying to move. Yeah, good. We'll pause in that direction. We'll circle the other way. And then we'll come on back to center and release the left hand down, right hand up and over for a side bend. Going to take that right hand and slip it down behind you. See if you can grab a hold of the top of the left thigh and turn the chest more toward the ceiling. We'll unwind that. We'll come on back up and over to the other side. So you take the left hand down, right hand down, left hand up and over. Starting with a straight side bend. And then releasing the left hand behind you, see if you can start to turn the chest up toward the ceiling. So all the way around, still side bending, so still leaning down on the right side. Then we'll release and come on back up to center. And bring the feet out in a Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. And it's up to you on how far forward or back. We keep the sit bones down, come on forward here. So working on extending, lengthening the spine. So from the sit bones, the top of the head, feeling that connection. And still leaning forward here, we're going to turn over the right knee. So now walk your hands over toward the right side. So you're starting to turn your chest toward your knee, maybe even your nose down that way. Try to keep your opposite hip down if it was pumping up. I'm going to come back to center and pause here. Just kind of saying if you end up dropping down a little bit lower. Then we'll walk on over to the other side, the left knee. Again, trying to square the chest down, squaring the shoulders, turning the chest toward that knee. Then we'll come back to the center position. And then we'll walk the hands in and come on up. And straighten out the legs. And I'm going to come into staff pose. I'm going to straighten out the legs, toes up, hands down by your hips here. Draw the shoulders back, abdominals in. And then from here, you're going to slide your hands back behind, thumbs facing inwards so that your fingertips are on the floor. Elbows are straight. Fingertips, just the fingertips on the floor, elbows straight. Feel the chest popping through. And then from here, you're going to roll back, bringing the palms of your hands down onto the floor. So inside edges of the arms are rolling back behind, chest is popping through. And from here, lift the center of the chest and tip the pelvic bone. So tailbone as it coming behind. Let your head drop back and come into a back bend here. And then drawing the abdominals in, we'll come on out of the back bend, release the hands. And then we're going to work our way into a hands and knees position. Once you're in your hands and knees, do a little cat-cow. Seeing if we can find the maximum range of motion in our cat-cow. We really drop that belly down, lifting the tailbone in our cow pose. We can really draw up the sides of the body as well as the belly on our cat pose. the next time that you're in cat pose, that will be the last one. We'll come back to a neutral spine. From here, I'm going to walk the hands forward and bring the hips in line for half plank pose. So just bringing the hips forward, connecting between the knees and the shoulders here. Pressing down into the floor, trying to distribute the weight off of the wrists and into the fingers. Half plank pose. So Joey, you might need to slide your knees back a little so you get your hips forward a little more. Yeah, there you go. And we'll tuck the toes of just the right foot and press back through your heel, 3/4 plank pose. And then we'll bring the right knee down and try the left side. Press back through the left heel, 3/4 plank. We'll bring the left knee back down. I'm keeping the left knee down. I'm going to swing the left foot out to the left side and make sure the toes connect. We're going to roll out to a half side plank pose. So you're going to stack your hips and your shoulders, and you might lift the right hand up. So the right foot kind of naturally comes down to the floor in this half side plank. And so in half side plank, make sure your hips are still forward towards your hands. Like they would be in your regular side plank. Yeah, if you want the extra challenge, go ahead and lift your right foot off the floor. That's just an option if you want there. If you need a break, you can take a break too. All right, we're going to work our way out of half side plank back into our plank pose. So half plank here. I'm going to try half side plank on the other side. So now keeping the right knee down, swing the right foot out, make contact with the floor, and then rotate, stacking your shoulders, stacking your hips, left foot comes to the floor. Option here is to lift that left foot off of the floor. But try to keep your hips still in that half plank orientation. So still drawing toward the hand and actively pushing into the hand that's on the floor. We'll come on out of that, coming back into a half plank pose, and then lowering all the way down to the floor. We can do a cobra pose, tailbone down, elbows in, lifting the head and the chest, shoulders away from the ears. And then back down to the floor. We're going to slide the elbows under the shoulders for Sphinx pose. So elbows under the shoulders, hands are shoulder width apart. Drawing your shoulders down away from the ears, tailbone down. Gonna lift the head and look up toward the ceiling. See if you can see what is above you. Maybe open the throat a little bit here. And then we'll turn the gaze back down toward the floor, releasing the neck. I'm going to reach through your right leg, making the right leg super long. See if you can start to lift the right foot, right leg off of the mat. Keep the hip down. Just trying to maybe get the knee up, maybe even the thigh off the floor. It's wherever your back wants to do here, but really strong lifting through your right foot. And you'll release that down, let that side relax, reach through your left toes, and try and lift the left foot off the floor. So we're still in Sphinx pose in the upper body, if that's okay in the back. Yeah. We'll set the left leg down, and now we'll slide the hands back by the shoulders. We're going to press up and all the way back into a prayer pose. Your choice if you want the knees wide or together. Hips to heels, arms are long, breathing. Then we'll walk the hands in closer. We're going to take the knees wide and tuck your feet underneath, your toes underneath. We're going to come up in our balancing squat. So the distance between the feet is up to you. You may or may not get the heels all the way down on the floor. And just walk the hands in closer until you find a place where you can balance. And then we'll start to lift the chest. Maybe bring the hands to the heart, or the hands could be out or side above your head, really light here. But working toward lifting the head and the chest and the upper body, but finding a place of balance. So the heels are starting to drop down toward the floor, may or may not reach the floor. So Joe, you could try taking your feet wider, further apart. Yeah. Trying to lift up so you can get the elbows off the knees. Just breathing. From here, we're going to work our way up to standing. Any way that works. Clear off your mat if you got anything on it. to Tadasana, mountain pose. And on an inhale, I'm going to take the arms up over the head. Palms together, crescent pose to the right, dropping down and extending. Inhale, we'll come back up through center. And exhale, crescent pose, other side. Inhale, back up to center. Let's release the hands to the hips and step the right foot forward for warrior one. Right foot forward, that's the back. Making sure we've got enough distance between the feet that we can really feel this tone in the legs and tailbone down. Yeah, if you're ready here, arms up. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Release the hands to the lower back, and let's take this into a back bend, lifting the center of the chest up toward the ceiling, shoulder blades down, front knee still bent, strong legs. Draw the abdominals in, coming on back up, bringing the hands over the head. Back to warrior 1. Then we'll bring the palms together at the center of the heart. Root into your back foot, lean forward, and then we're going to turn toward your golf side angle pose toward the right. So you got that elbow hooked around the knee, and try and bring your thumbs back to the center of the chest. If you've been holding for a bit, you can come out. If you just got into it, take another breath here. If you're coming out, we're coming back up to warrior 1. All right, from here, we're going to straighten the front leg, come down into a pyramid pose. So you might just be touching fingertips on the floor. You might have blocks if you need them. Just starting to draw that right hip back behind, straightening out the right leg. And then you might drop the upper body down toward the floor and bring your nose toward your knee any amount. You could also just keep some extension in the spine. Try to keep that knee straight if you can. And then we'll keep the left hand down. So you can come in the revolved triangle pose, taking the right hand up toward the ceiling or on the hip. So we're rotating the shoulders and we're turning in the direction of our right foot. Let's revolve triangle pose. Let's try to ease some of the effort here. Just focusing on the stability part of the pose. Keeping the breath flowing easily and smoothly. We'll unwind here back into pyramid. Take a bend to the knee. We'll come up for warrior one. Nice and strong legs as you come up. Then release the hands to the hips. We're going to swap the feet. So step your back foot forward and your front foot back. Coming to warrior one on the other side. So left knee bends, back leg straight, tailbone down. It's up when you're ready. Warrior one on the side. So try to relax the face. Keep the breath flowing. In through the nose, out through the nose, nice and calm. Release the hands now to the lower back. Little back bend on this side, lifting the center of the chest up toward the ceiling. Front knee still bent. We'll draw the abdominals in. Come on back up to a warrior one. We'll bring the palms together at the center of the heart. Reach into your back foot, lean forward and turn here. Revolve side angle pose on the side. All right, inhale, unwind back into our warrior one, nice and controlled. And then we'll straighten the front leg to come down for a pyramid pose on this side. So that left hip is drawing back behind, straightening out that leg. And then if you like, you can drop down, start to bring the nose toward the knee. And then coming into a revolved triangle pose, I'm going to keep that right hand down and undertake the left hand up toward the ceiling or on the hip. Really drawing in from the floor through the feet into the core, so nice and strong in the legs. Yeah, good. And opening here. Yeah, maybe you keep the hand on the hip, maybe you extend. Unwind the twist back into a pyramid. And then with control, bend the front knee, come on up warrior ones. Just lifting up here. Notice how much you have to tone in the legs and the abdominals to come back up from the floor. Only we always toned the abdominals before lifting anything off the floor. It would be so much healthier in our backs. All right, let's take the hands to the hips. We'll step the feet together. And we're going to come down onto the floor. So you bend your knees and come down. We're going to come onto our back here. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Kind of taking stock of where am I today? How's the body feeling now? And then let's walk the feet in a little closer for our bridge pose. Take the hands down by the hips, shoulders down. When you're ready, lift the hips straight up toward the ceiling for a bridge pose. I'm going to lower the hips back down to the floor. And we'll pick the feet up off the floor, drawing your knees in toward your chest. We're going to separate the knees so they're going more toward your shoulders. So starting to pull the knees in close. So you might even start to feel the thighs touching the belly here. That's good. We're going to kick the feet up now for a happy baby pose. So keep your knees wide and close toward your shoulders and the thighs close to the belly. We kick the feet up and separate them in happy baby pose. And then holding on to your ankles if you can here. Draw the soles of the feet together in this form of reclined Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet together, pulling on your ankles, drawing them in close. Now the knees go out wide. And then release the feet. We're going to cross the left knee over the right. So stacking your left knee on top of your right knee, feet still off the floor. Crossing your left knee onto the right as much as you can. We're going to drop both knees crossed over to the right side. The feet might come to the floor. The knees might drop down toward the floor on the right side. Yeah, there you go. And then opening the chest, we'll drop the left shoulder down toward the floor. So the upper body comes into a twist here. Knees toward the right, and chest to the ceiling, and left shoulder down. And then we're going to roll our way back up to center. Switch sides. If you need to bring your feet to the floor to find center spine, you can do that. Or you can just keep your feet off the floor. We're going to cross the right knee, stacking as much as we can onto the left knee. And then both knees, both feet toward the left side, all the way down, maybe touching the floor. You can really start to feel that, particularly in the lower back. The lower you drop your knees down. And then you're going to open the chest toward the ceiling and drop your right shoulder down toward the floor. Then on an inhale, we'll roll on back to center, release the legs. We're going to work our way into a shavasana. You might try, we've done it before, elevating your legs in your shavasana with a couple of blocks. And so you can take your blocks under your shins here if you like. You to try like any height with the blocks. Just allowing your feet to do what they want to do. The hands, or if you'd like, you're allowing gravity to wash over the body from the front side, pulling down to the back side of the body. Before you start moving here, just allow your awareness to spread through the body. Noticing if anything has changed over the course of the practice. Taking note of not just the physical muscles and bones of the body, but also any sort of emotional state or the quality or the way that you're breathing. Has anything shifted in your being? Are there aspects that you might want to try to continue and take with you throughout your day? And as you're ready, in your time, make your way up to a seated position. Hands together at the heart. Seeing if we can embody those pleasant sensations from our practice. See if we can maintain those things we like to continue. So just coming back to that as you practice for today, moment to moment. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Namaste.